How is this looking? I hope this is looking okay. All right, let's go. Let's go now. Shoot. I should have picked this mic for this. Hmm. I'm not sure. Okay. Uh, hey, every day. Well, we change it to 2022 now. We change it to 2022. Woo-woo. I wow. This camera, it's like I wonder if I should change the camera so that the perspective I should be right. Let's see. Every day with Marcy. Marcy, what's going on? How are you? All right, let's see. Where's everyone? Sorry, I had to jet out earlier today because I had to pick up my car, and that's the reason I had to abruptly interrupt the live earlier. But we back. We here. We here. Let me know how's the sound with this because I want to be able to. Let's see how we do in there. Is this okay? Let's put the track in. Okay. What do you guys think about this camera? I am utilizing a camera that I bought a while ago. You guys remember when Sony came out with this? What is it? The Z1? The Sony Z1, right? I think it is. And all the bloggers or all the YouTube creators, they had this camera. I'm pretty sure that Sony reached out to them, and that was a major, really contributor with the sales. All right, see who we have here. George T. George, what's up? Happy New Year, man, to you as well. Yes, I can definitely talk about my car rental business. Um, well, the biggest challenges that I've faced with that is slow times. Imagine having 12 cars and all of a sudden the business is slow. So that's a huge challenge. Um, I'll say in December, what's the only month that was really slow out of all the months. I mean, we have November and October and November. I think there were really good months that we had, over $13,000 in revenue. So, hey, Professor Crane is in. What's going on, sir? What do you think about this camera, Professor Crane? What do you think about it? It's a pretty sweet camera, and I'm using it with Elgato. I just hate when creators call it Elgato. It's Elgato. Elgato. Anyways, so yeah, the only challenge was when the business slowed down a little bit. Let me show you here how was our October and December were pretty good months. And just so you know, I had this business for, let me do 2021 here. Yeah, so as you can see, this is October. See if I can see it here. Okay, this was October. It's backwards. I apologize, but it says 13,587. You see October 2021, and this was November. Let me see if I can focus here. Oops. Okay, this was November. Okay, there it is. November was 13,149. So these were two of the great months. And that's when I already have my fleet complete. All right. So November. Wow, you have a 4K screen. Yeah, this is actually 4K, Professor Crane. This is actually 4K. But T. George, if you don't have a strong stomach for slow times, if you don't have strong knees, if your knees buckle when slow times come in, I recommend you just to stay within, I don't know, 2 to 5 cars. But I have 12, and December was literally a month that was slow, and it was concerning a little bit, challenging, but we survived it, and we are up in January. Things are projecting a little higher for January and going forward into February as well. So I think that having that business, that car rental business, and I am 100% hands off on that business, so somebody else is handling it for me, and I can focus on my other business, which is generating a good income as well, just to be able to focus and grow that business. And also, I'm creating a team which is going to also allow me to be hands off of that business as well. And having those two business combined, having that kind of income combined could be really beneficial and allow me to be hands off, have more time, my family, my son, and if invest more. I want to invest more in the stock market, invest more in real estate. So I'll try to do that. But to your question, T. George, it's a good business. It's a good income to have there. It doesn't require a lot of work if you have help. Now, if you're doing it yourself and you have to do the drop off of the cars, the pickups, and washing and all that, it could be a little bit of work. It could be a little bit of work. Good question. No, that's not. That's gross. That's gross. Yeah, that's not net profit. So I'll say that I'm keeping probably 60 to 70% of that ish. So it's not 100% profit. All that is gross. Yeah. So, but still, that includes really, of course, the car payments. None of those cars are paid for because they were acquired under the business, so none of them are paid off. So we have to make the payment off of the amount that you saw there. Some of the cars, they go for 400, 300 a month, 700, and so forth. So you do the math. Not all of them are 700, but most of them are in the 300-400 category. Okay. And then also, like I said, I mean, I don't want to say I stumbled upon these streams of income, but I gotta say that business credit have facilitated this kind of incomes that we're having, these businesses, because it all started with business credit. Yeah, you're in camera.
Okay.
So all right, 60 to 70, T George, yeah, approximately. It's not bad. I mean, imagine worse is not having any. So worse is not having any, but I like businesses that are self-sustainable. We're making over 13,000, and if it's self-sustainable, out of that you're able to sustain the business and keep generating income. I think that's a good deal. It is a good deal. Yeah, start slow. Yeah, two cars is really good. Okay, depending on the cars, with two cars you can make the try to get a low interest in your cars and your loans if you're not paying them off, and try to get like a low payment. Probably, I'm not sure which state you're in, but depending on the state, try to get a car in the 3 to 500 a month range, because you're sure to make the payment and also keep some profit out of it. That's the idea, right? That you are able to sustain the business and the expenses with that income, and then you can continue to grow the business. From there as well, we are also doing real estate, right? Everything started with business credit, and we are trying to continue to grow and also create other streams of income from business credit. And like you guys been following me long enough, you know that these cars, we started with business credit, and then we acquired some of them. I have to be clear, there are 12 cars. Some of them we had to personal guarantee, because the dealership didn't want to do the business anymore because of the number of cars we already had. Now, however, though, some of them were personal guaranteed, but that's not going to show in our credit unless we default on the payment. Okay, so unless we default on the payment, it's not going to show on our personal credit. All right, let's see other questions. I'm in Ohio and I'm looking to start out with a BMW X1 and a Nissan Sentra or Rogue. I recommend the Rogue. I'm biased because I have two of them. They're extremely comfortable cars. I'm telling you the truth. I have an X5, right? That's our personal car in our home. We have an X5, and I got to say that the Rogues are a little more comfortable than the X5. Um, I'm not sure if it's because of the interior of the X5 is all leather inside and everything, and the Rogues are not. But to me, the Rogues are a little more comfortable in terms of not driving, but inside, sitting in the cabin, it's a little more comfortable. But in terms of performance, the X5 takes the cake. How are the interest rates on business loans? Usually, the interest rates for business loans are a little higher than personal loans, and that, of course, that depends, because if you have a not a so if your credit not so good, then the interest rate is going to be high. And if your personal credit, in business credit though, you can get a 3%, you can get a 7%. It depends. Some people have gotten 19%, which is incredibly high to me. Most of the business credit vehicles that we had, the highest that we had, it was 7%, 7%, 7.5, I think. All right. Who else we have? Okay, good to know. Thanks so much. You're very welcome, T. George. Feel free to ask any other questions. What are you doing for car insurance, commercial or personal? That is an excellent question, man. I'm happy that you asked that question. So for months, I don't recommend this. I really don't recommend it. But for months, because these cars are a business, right? We don't use those cars personally. Uh, I didn't have any insurance because they when they're rented on Toro, Toro has their own insurance, right? Toro has Liberty Mutual. So I did bother to try to get insurance, but it was ridiculous. Their rates was astronomical. I remember one person that I contact, one person, not one company, to get commercial insurance for the fleet. And they told me that I had to buy a $600 device to plug it into the car so they know when the car was driven off of Toro. And I'm like, $600? That's ridiculous. We have 12 cars. That's like $7,000, $7,200, something like that. I don't know. I'm not gonna pay that. And then I continue to look for insurance, and we couldn't find anything that was affordable until we finally got a response from Liberty Mutual because we were after them forever. The first time I reached out to Liberty Mutual, they said, "Oh, you're not an all-star host, so you don't qualify to have commercial insurance with us." I'm like, well, excuse me. Now I am not an all-star. I'm a power host on Toro, and I reached out to the same lady, and she never responded to my emails ever. She never responded to my emails. And then I continued to push with Liberty Mutual because it was the only kind of like big insurance that was offering commercial, and they allowed you to use Toro because some insurance company don't allow you to do rideshare and Toro. So I got a call back from this guy. I submit all the information they asked me, and sure enough, I got insurance for 12 vehicles, and my premium it's like a little over 9 grand a year, which is phenomenal. It's phenomenal because the prices that was being asked for from the other companies, the quotes were just crazy. So yes, I have commercial insurance for all the cars. 100% glass coverage in case we're in Arizona, and it's very common in Arizona that the windshields are cracked because of flying pebbles and rocks, and you need to have that glass coverage. So with all that covered, I'm insured against underinsured motorists and non-insured motorists. Hope I'm saying that right. So I'm insured against that. So we have a great deal with Liberty Mutual, and we're only paying like a little over 9 grand a year, which is phenomenal to me. So I hope that answers your questions. T. George, let's see who else. Junior Moreno, do you have different LLCs for your business, or you are just using one for all the businesses you have for real estate? That's also a great question. That's a very good question. Here's the thing. My oldest company we found in 2016. That was a company that we started using for everything, right? So we used to have a digital marketing agency. We used it for that. Then when we did Toro, we used it for that. And for the real estate business, we use it for that because it is the company, the oldest, and with over $1 million in business credit. So that's one of the reasons why we were using that company for everything. Now that we are established, though, we are segmenting everything, right? There's some certain things that I do under the same company, but I have 3 companies. Excuse me. So I am, I have registered DBAs for one branch of the business, then I have the parent company with two different DBAs, and I have two other companies. So to answer your questions, it's good to have an LLC separate for everything. Now, the other side of the coin for that is that because I used one company at some point, I was using one company for the real estate and the car rental business. All that cash flow was coming through one bank account. And whenever we asked for funding and they saw that cash flow, their eyes popped out of their faces and they will give us money. You know, so that is a good thing. One of the good things, having all the cash flow, flowing through one bank account. But if I could do it all over, and that's what I'm doing right now, I'm keeping things separated now that we're taking off. So we are able to really go ahead and build the other company's business credit. So I can, if I can, and to be honest, this is ironic. To be honest, had I spent time building credit for my other two companies, I would have had like probably 30 cars, 10 per company. But I guess I don't want to buy more than I can chew. And just because you can do it, it doesn't mean that you should do it. That's how I think, anyways. So, focusing now on the real estate business, we have over 23 units already we have acquired, and we continue to grow. So we're expanding to other states as well. So we're focusing on that since we don't have to worry about the car rental business because we hired somebody to really help us with that. So we can dedicate time to this other income stream. Gap insurance, T George, it's provided by your dealership. So your car salesperson is going to provide you with gap insurance. I hope. Well, I heard that Ally will repo your cars if they found out that you were doing Toro. I heard somebody in the group saying that. I don't know why in the world would you tell Ally that you are doing anything. It's not on the business. But whenever I went to a dealership to get cars, it's a conversation. Some of them were too nosy. Some of them were just a small chat, like talking about asking questions. But whenever they ask me, like, "Oh, what are you using these cars for?" I don't have to tell my business to anybody. I'm not obligated to disclose any of my business. So I would just say, well, that will be used for business. That I will limit myself to say that. I don't have to enter into details and say anything about what I'm going to do with the assets that I'm acquired from you that I'm paying for. So if I didn't feel like I rarely tell anybody what I'm doing with that. Now, one of my car salesperson, he found out somewhere, some way, and he's like, Willard, why didn't you tell me that you were in Toro? I can help you. I'll help you get 50 cars. I'm like, whoa. Easy, Tiger. 50 cars. Imagine, huh? So, yeah, you don't have to tell anybody your business, what you do. And even the dealerships, it's not something that you need to disclose to them. Thanks for the info. So how does it come along at the end of the year with the tax return with different business expenses? Yeah, that's my CPA is not happy about it. He's not a happy camper right now because my taxes just got really complicated. Yeah, so imagine having the kind of income from two sources. It gets a little complicated. Uh, Turo, they do report taxes because I think you have to fill out a W-9 with them or something like that. So with them, you just have to print that report with them and give it to your CPA. That's one. Now with the real estate though, that's another thing. So my taxes are, I gotta say, it's a little complex. Um, so war with casualties. Wow, what a name. He says I got approved for 2K debit card, and I just started my business this month. Is there any other approval similar that I can get? Try. I know sometimes try Brex, the Brex card, but try to apply for the charge one because if you apply for the credit card, they're gonna ask you to have like $5 million in revenue. So don't apply for that one. Just apply for the charge card from Brex, and that's an excellent card because your limit is what you deposit into it, and they will report to Dun& Bradstreet and Experian. So that's my best advice in terms of applying for cars. That's gonna help you to really get other accounts, higher limit accounts. That's all I can say about that. Capital on Tab too. Like Professor Crane said, Capital on Tab is a good one to have. They are generous. You have to personal guarantee it though. They say they do a soft pool, but I recommend that you do a Capital in Town. My pleasure, T. George. I mean, I appreciate you being a supporter of the content, man. Thank you so much. I think you said at the beginning that you were part of our group, Facebook group. I appreciate you, man. I mean, why not, man? I love sharing this information with you guys. Um, I tell me what you think, and something that someone really close to me suggested is to get a channel, a second channel for to talk about the real estate investment and real estate business. So let me know what do you think about that. I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Definitely, and I will definitely get on that. I would like to do that really. Um, you're very welcome. War WWC. I'm gonna call you War with Casualties. It seems as if you need to be in business for 3 months for the best approvals. Yeah, that's right, man. I mean, some accounts are funny. Like with 3 months in business, you will not be able to get a Home Depot card without personal guarantee in it. And that is, I think that is true. Professor Crane, just correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's true for all Citibank backed store cards, all the store cards backed by City Services, financial services, I should say, like Home Depot and the gas cards and the sort. I think they'll ask you to have at least 2.5 or 2 years in business in order for them to do it under the business alone. But if you're under 2 years, they'll ask you to personal guarantee it, and sometimes they even deny you. Junior Moreno is there. Another channel will help. I'm looking to real estate next. Junior, you'll be surprised, man. Um, you'll be surprised how much you can do with real estate. It's crazy, man. I'm making good money, and it's it's a little work at the beginning. It's a little like finding out because I'm building that this plane as I fly it, and it's been a little work. But now that I'm getting the hang of it, like it's we've ramped up to over 23, and I have other properties with other partners. So probably in total I have about 30, and you'll be surprised how much you can do. So I'm gonna work on that channel, man, and I hope that you guys support the channel for sure. Um, yeah, I'm glad to hear, man. Maybe we can catch up, T George, just to bounce ideas off of each other. Um, so yeah, Professor Crane says that for CD, all the CD store cars and Synchrony, you most you must have you must have at least 2 years, 2 years and a half in business for them to be able to do no guarantee, no personal guarantee. I have will be great. I actually have two rentals now and moving towards getting more this year. Um, T George, if I can suggest anything, I wouldn't bother renting traditionally to people. Just having people to pay you probably a third of what you can make with that house or those properties. Renting it to somebody to pay you and like a year lease, you're probably are making a third of what you could make with other vehicles. I'm just saying that's what I'm doing, and I'm sure that I can make more money, not renting it traditionally. Um, I guarantee you that, man. All right, let's see who else. Unless you have high reporting trade lines and a lot of them. Yeah, that's right. Professor Crane is dropping some nuggets there. One thing I'm confused about is the Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile business lines of credit for phones. Will that is? I have Verizon, and the last time I checked with them, I had like $18,000 in credit, and I have all sorts of things. Look, this is embarrassing. Look, I have three phones, right? I have an iPad. I have an iPad, and I have, oh my goodness, I have just a bunch of things that I got with Verizon. So I have $18,000 in line of credits with Verizon. But the thing is, and they started me with 7,500. So the thing is that I think you have to be over the 2 year mark for them to give you a line of credit. So being that young, I don't think they'll approve you WWC. I don't think that they will. Yeah, you have to put a little more time. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Again, I may be wrong, um, but they approved me because I have too many trade lines. That's why Verizon approved me easily. And then I went to get the new iPhone, and I check and I say, hey, I have a line of credit with you guys. I have about $7,500 with you, and they're like, they check and they're like, $7,500. We check your company and you have $18,000. I'm like, huh? What do you know? So once you're approved, just make those payments and they can increase your credit limit, your line of credit without even telling you. Veronica, what's going on? Thank you so much, Veronica. I really appreciate it. What top cards that report to Experian do you recommend? I currently have one trade line report, and thank you. Veronica, as I said earlier here in the live stream, try to get your hands on Brex, not the credit card, but the charge card, the business charge card from Brex that reports to the three main business credit bureaus. And also DB has a program that will help you build business credit. I believe it's a secure card that they have that will help you build business credit and report to the business credit bureaus. Professor Crane, help me there if I'm correct. DB Corpay also has a program that you get their platform, like a invoice handling platform, and they will extend you a credit card. I'm gonna do a video about that, about Corpay extending a credit card when you use their invoicing platform. It's a expense management platform, just like a DB and Brex in these companies. But Corpay also will extend you they'll extend you a credit card. They offered me one, but I haven't been able to really go through where their application. We have some issues at the beginning when I started using their expense management tool. So Professor Crane says that DB only reports to DMB. I thought that Brex reported to Experian and DMB for some reason. I don't know. Um, I just talked to Corpay last week, and you have to PG their card. That is strange. Hmm. T George. That is interesting because I was dealing with them, and they didn't ask me for a PG for the credit card. I think Professor Crane. I know I'm annoying you with this, but let me know. I think one of the best cards out there. It's the Sam's Club card. It's one of the best, and this is what. Hear me out. It reports to Experian, like Professor Crane said. You can use it anywhere, anywhere, and I